Hello everyone, this is Divya Sharma, a PhD Research Scholar, Department of English, GLA University. Today I am here to present my research paper. The title of my paper is Women as the Other in Nayanthara Sehgal's Rich Like Us. So this is the picture of Nayanthara Sehgal. She is a living author. Let's talk about Nayanthara Sehgal's introduction. A brief look into the life of Nayanthara Sehgal. She is one of the leading contemporary Indian English writers. She has written so many novels, autobiographies, political commentaries, and essays on contemporary issues of national importance. She is one of the foremost political novelists in India. She is the daughter of Vijayalakshmi Pandit. Vijayalakshmi Pandit was the sister of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India. So obviously, Nayanthara Sehgal is the foremost political novelist in India. Her family is politically active family. Now, the honors she has received for her works are the Sahitya Academy Award for her novel Rich Like Us in 1985. Sinclair Prize for Fiction is also in 1985. Jasbir Jain observes all around them political and moral ideas were being discussed and formulated, and the girls were a part of it. If it was Nehru's idealism that has influenced her political stance, it is her own father's gentleness and courage that has influenced her moral stance. Nayanthara herself quotes, "I am a novelist and a political journalist. My novels have a political background or political ambience. I didn't plan it that way. I was dealing with people and situations, but looking back, each one seems to reflect the hopes and fears the political scene held out to us at that time." Now, the novel which I have taken for my research paper is Rich Like Us. Rich Like Us is a magnum opus of Nayanthara Sehgal and is published in 1985. The novel presents the reality of contemporary social and political scene. The action of the novel spans from the colonial to the post-colonial era of India, with a special focus on India's emergency period of 1974-75, when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India. It is a historical novel that deals with the time of emergency of 1975. The novel presents the far-reaching effects of national political upheaval, social and personal life of common citizens, especially women. Sehgal portrays the facts of emergency through her fictional characters in the novel. There is personification of social and political setups also in the novel. The portrayal of Sati. Sehgal uncovered the dim side of the Hindu social conventions of Sati by demonstrating how ladies' bodies were regularly used as images of religious and patriotic suppositions. She portrays the life and passing of grandma of Sonali, who died as a Sati. Sehgal uncovers how the ladies in those days had no flexibility of decisions, and their lives were formed and coordinated by customs and social practices developed by male-centric society and certain precepts of patriotic belief system. The novel additionally perceives that superstitions and perverted dogmas of society influenced numerous ladies to acknowledge their destiny. At that point, when some of them endeavored to escape or revolt, they were punished for that. We can see the political exploitation also in the novel. The women characters are seen to rise against this negativity of culture, which obstruct women's progress, and they rebel against all trials meant to marginalize women's central role in family and society. So, the character of One of the characters in the novel, Sonali Ranade, an honest IAS officer in the Ministry of Industries, is placed against the prevailing administrative system. However, Sonali courageously battles against the corrupt administration whose infective virus has wriggled to the core and destroyed some of the cherished values. Next, women as the angel of the house. The very qualities of women that Mary Wollstonecraft had adequately reported in A Vindication of Rights of Women, one of the earliest writings of feminist consciousness during the Victorian era, are relevant even today, particularly for wedding contemplation. The book claimed that women are vital to a nation and family as they educate children and could be companions to their husbands rather than mere wives. Another important facet of the emotions of women is that for fear of loss of societal status and esteem of lots of sufferings are hushed up by women. Hence they become mute spectators of patriarchal domination. Rose is the British wife of Ram. She shares him with his first wife Mona. Unfortunately, Rose is barren and cannot produce a son or a child, which in itself is a critical misfortune in the Indian framework. The problem arises when Ram dies and Rose has to live with her stepson Dev and his wife Nishi. Rachel Burry says Rose's position is that of the wife, widow, mother-in-law position, something which is so alien to her as she is the other. Now, let's take a look about the modern Indian women's consciousness. A matured phase of the feminist in Sehgal is portrayed in Rich Like Us. The women of this segment are resolute and emotionally liberated. Such qualities can be noticed in Sonali, who grows up with a vision to accomplish a new tradition, to create her independent worth, to prove. Her submission is not a recognition of defeat, it is a sublimation of her non-cooperation against tyrannical forces, a manner of proclaiming her independence. And now let's talk about the contemporary relevance. Considering Nayanthara Sehgal's view of an emancipated woman that she has tried to project in Rich Like Us from a contemporary angle, one can notice an undercurrent of ambivalence in modern Indian society. No doubt, the professional Indian woman can be seen rising the ladder of advancement. The ladder of advancement, but the society is still not free from patriarchal strongholds and crime against women. If the prototypes of Sonali, of Rich Like Us, can very well be seen in Indian society today. The archetype of Rose and Mona are also present. However, from positive angle, it can be observed that with the journey of the country to the 21st century, this is so-called angel of the house has come out of her old bounds. Indian women are gradually coming out of their age-long suppression, despite having been crushed by male chauvinism for long. Indian women have not given up. From Sarojini Naidu as the first women governor of independent India to Pratibha Patil as the 12th President of India and to Nirmala Sitharaman, the present Finance Minister of India. The list is long as there is hardly any field in which women have not exhibited their participation. Although instances of violence against women still prevail, reprisals are no fewer. Bhavri Devi, a gang rape survivor, Lakshmi Agrawal, an acid attack victim, are some of the retaliations through which women have exhibited exemplary courage in coming out of their traumas and are now fighting for women's cause. The government, in order to uplift their status, has also introduced many women support systems in the form of laws and assistance. At last, The conclusion. So, it can be deduced that an expansion of women's consciousness has truly begun for the Indian women. But now there is an intense requirement to endure this upliftment and to carry it to a bigger scale. At the same time, efforts are to be made on the grassroots level. There has always been a longing by women to discover themselves, to find out their face underneath all the excesses that have been enforced on them. Although they have at times readily and at other times unwillingly accepted their roles as mothers, wives, daughters, and dependents on men. Yet the ambition to find their individuality has been there. The role of Indian feminist writers has been quite significant in the success of modern Indian women. They have played a marvelous part in spreading a consciousness of women's emancipation in India. Along with Nayantara Sehgal, women novelists like Amrita Pritam, Kamla Markande, Shashi Deshpande, Anita Desai, Geeta Mehta, Kiran Desai have strong contribution to this cause on the part of women's writing in general. So, these are the works that I have cited for this research paper, and at last, thank you so much.